This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? Hello, Chloe, Blue, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, what's going on? Somebody posted in my Discord, what Tina did, I think, about the Grady Judd. He was giving a sermon at his church, and one of the people that attends the church got arrested for a murder. He was a suspect in a murder, and he just happened to, I don't know, his phone just kept beeping while he was up on the podium up there, or whatever you want to call it. And he didn't check it until he was done, but they arrested the guy that was a murder suspect, who I guess he's actually a member of the church too. It's pretty strange. Yeah. So we're almost at the halfway point of the month. Yeah, pretty ironic. Yep. Alright, well anyways, there's a couple of cases that don't really have too much information on them. Do those ones first, I think. Let me check something. That one. Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's one that doesn't have very much. Thanks, Tina. Svelte? Not sure what that means. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a few. Yeah, I've been walking on my treadmill. Could also be the dark shirt. But yeah, I mean, I've walked 55 miles on that in, I don't know, 10 or 11, 12, 13, maybe 2 weeks probably. Oh, look at that. Donna D with the avocado. There you go. Awesome. Let's see. So this one almost has nothing. It's really just kind of get her name out there. He was here the other night. He's Cairo's busy. He's got a lot more work now on each tower that he does. So almost nothing on this one, but I'll do it anyways. Let's see, right here. The Concord Police Department is seeking assistance in locating Yuvaya Deashate or Deashate. I mean, I don't really know how to pronounce it because I don't have anybody to tell me. Morrisey. Now, I'm sure I'll get 8 emails. God, Gray, I mean, you just butchered her last name. I mean, my God, Gray. Thanks, Kami. You know, the idiots that always have to send you an email. If I ask you how to pronounce it or you just want to throw it into the chat, that's great. But I don't need you to send me an email sleuthing out how to pronounce a city. Okay? It's really stupid. I mean, just, I don't know, man. How about you just do your own thing in your own life? I don't need you sending me emails on how to pronounce something. Okay? It's just the way it is. And I'll make sure I say it exactly the opposite of what you tell me as well. So it'll just hurt it. God, Gray, that's so vindictive. Yeah, it doesn't help at all. Yeah. I mean, if you like, well, I guess it depends on how you wrote it. Like if you say, "Hey, Gray, this is how you pronounce that thing." Yeah, in case you were wondering, that's it. But if you have some negative terms and shit that you use in it, then yeah, that's not going to work. Like the one I read to you yesterday. You know. Yeah. I mean, if you're just being like, "Oh, great, I know that one's kind of weird. Here's how you pronounce that one." Oh, okay, cool. I'd have a lot different reaction, but it's when people act like they're just so morally and intellectually superior because they know how to pronounce some weird freaking name of a town in some tiny little, village out in Estacada. You know, it's like, oh, really? Good for you. Thanks, Nana Pam and Abneram. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have said it that way, LM. Anyways, here we go. So the Concord Police Department is seeking assistance in locating Yuvaya, let's just say Deashate Morrisey. Summer Morrisey, the mother of Yuvaya, reported that Yuvaya voluntarily left their residence at 4130 Concord Point Lane on March 2nd, 2023. And that's just right here. Hey, Caligal3, thank you. So she was last seen here. Here, let me close down a bunch of the stuff. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, the blazers. I just gotta get rid of. God, I hate when there's a whole bunch of stuff open because then it just sort of.
Waves.
Let me see. There we go. Now I can just open up what I need. So it says, Summer Morrisey advised that Yuvaya has health concerns and takes medications. It is unknown if Yuvaya left her residence on foot or in a vehicle. Yuvaya is a black female, 26 years old, approximately 5'6", weighs 150 pounds, has brown eyes and black hair, with her hair possibly in dreads with a twist style and honey blonde tips. Yuvaya was last seen wearing dark blue jeans, a black shirt, a black cardigan, and black shoes. Anyone with any information on the whereabouts of Yuvaya Morrisey is asked to contact 911 or the Concord Police Department at 704-920-500. Man, she has like the most perfect skin in the world. I mean, like she could be on like one of those ads for that. get your avocado on. Let's see. So there was just that, and I don't even know if the other article has anything different in it. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same thing. So basically, that's all there is. I mean, how ridiculous is that, right? She went missing on March 2nd as well, so that's almost 2 weeks ago, and that's all we have currently. Now, you may find some other thing somewhere. I wasn't able to. I was sent this sort of, I don't know, a couple hours, maybe a few hours, or I saw it a few hours ago, and just kind of found what I could find. Everything seemed to be kind of the same. And there's no really indication of what happened. I mean, she's 26 years old, so she's an adult, and she was, you know, living apparently with where her mom lives, and walked out of her apartment, never to be seen again. It's crazy. Another one of the weird, just somebody just disappearing. Maybe that's why there isn't really much information. She has health concerns and takes medications. Yeah. Well, if you guys find any updates or anything like a long article on it, we'll do an update. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Again, I mean, you know, if this was guaranteed, if it was some, you know, blonde 26-year-old that went missing just randomly out of the middle of nowhere, there'd be full articles and all kinds of stuff going on. And that's just the way it is, sadly. Alright. Okay, the next one we're going to do is Christy Ruso here. Let's see. There we go. So this is an individual named Cristi Ruso, or yeah, R-U-S-O. So if I'm not pronouncing it right, you know, sue me. Might be Russo. Pretty sure it's Ruso though. See. Yeah. I'm just gonna try to find some articles in order on this one. It's sort of interesting. Anyone with information is encouraged to reach out to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office at 409-384-5417. This is they're searching for a woman missing since October 2021. This article, the original article, is November 3rd, 2021. Then they updated it on January 7th. Family members are asking the Southeast Texas community for help in hopes of finding their loved one. Christy Ruso, 31, was last seen around 4 p.m. on October 21st, 2021 at the 1800 block of County Road 777. Okay, now I was wanting to Gum Slough Road out here, and then there's that's 777 right there. Okay, so there you go. County, what did they say? 1800 block. 1800 County Road 777. Uh-oh. Alright, there we go. Okay, that's 1800. Now what would 1900 be? No, it wouldn't be. 1700. Ah. Yeah, I don't know. If, whenever that happens, it means that's not right. Can't see that one. Well, that's 77. Let's see. I just need one address somewhere. This one might have something. Ah. Man, looked like you could... They blurred out the number. Or maybe that's a name. Well, anyways, it's the 1800 block of County Road 777 in Boona, Texas. Let's see if this one has one. CR something 74. Of course, the one that you can see is partially blocked. Oh well, somewhere around in here. This is where she was. 1800 block of County Road 777 in Boona, according to Jasper County Sheriff's Office release. That is about 1.5 miles from the Business Highway 96. Okay, maybe we can do it like that. So there's 96. So they would have probably driven it to measure it. They don't do it by the crow. Yeah, so more like right around in that area. Just something like that. Let's see. Ruso is described as 5'3", who has brown hair, brown eyes, and is 180 pounds. Ruso was released from the Jasper County Jail on October 20th, 2021 morning. She had received multiple rides to and from Boona and Silsbee, according to the release. Hardin County Sheriff. That's weird, she went missing the next day after getting out of jail. Hardin County Sheriff Mark Davis said investigators interviewed the people who gave her a ride into Hardin County, as well as different person who gave her a ride back. Ruso was taken to Garden Suites, located at 3698 US in Silsbee. Okay. Garden Suites. She then traveled back to the area of Gum Slough, where she was dropped off near the 1800 block of County Road 777. Hardin County Sheriff Mark Davis told 12 News the missing person case is a Jasper County case. Anyone with information is encouraged to reach out to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office at 409-384-5417. Alright, here we go. New development, clothing of missing Buna woman found. Family offers reward for information. A major development in the disappearance of a Jasper County woman. Christy Ruso was last seen 2 months. This is in kfdm.com. And all the links to all this stuff is in the description. Christy Ruso was last seen 2 months ago, and she remains missing tonight. But we learned of a crucial discovery in the case earlier today. Investigators say they found some of Christy Ruso's clothes. 31-year... I don't know what that is. That's a different one. KFDM Fox 4's Angel San Juan has reported, if you have any information that can help find Christy Ruso, you can call the Jasper County Sheriff's Office at 409-384-5417. I wonder what story that is. That's probably an old one now. This is her right here. That other lady isn't her, but I mean she's pretty too. So, clothing belonging to missing woman found in trash bag on side of Jasper County Road. New developments in a family's desperate 2-month-long search for a missing woman from Buna. 31-year-old Christy Ruso was last seen October 20th on Gum Slough Road off of FM 77. See, when they say that, it doesn't make sense to me when they say off of 77, because Gum Slough Road is 77. See, that's 77 right there? And then it's also Gum Slough Road. See, Gum Slough Road 77. So I don't know what that means when they say on Gum Slough Road off of 77. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Maybe they meant 779 or something. No, it doesn't make any sense, Gene. I just explained why it doesn't make sense. Gum Slough and 77 are the same road. So you would say off of Gum Slough Road or off of 77, but not off of, they're one and the same. Now, that's not just the way they say it, okay? It's incorrect. I know how they say these things. That isn't correct the way they worded it there. Because 777 and Gumshoe Road are the same roads, okay? So when you say, well, it was on Gumshoe Road off of 777. No, because that would mean that there's a main 777, and then Gumshoe Road comes off of that on its own street, so it's just right there. That's not how this is. They're the same street, or road, I guess. Let's see. Her family and law enforcement have been searching for her since then, hoping she would be home by Christmas. Now family members tell KFDM Fox 4's Angel San Juan that someone driving this afternoon on County Road 721 off of Highway 96. See that one I think made sense. So here is 721. All right, so here's 96, and 721 is off of 96. So that's how it normally is, and it's called Old Tram Road. But anyway, somewhere right on in here, this really kind of, well, we can get a look at that right here, as a matter of fact. It's really not much going on out here. This is where you would dump a bag or something like that. And this is a continuation of it right here. This is 721. Okay, so that's what it looks like where about 4 miles south of Buna found 2 black trash bags that were soaking wet. Family members say inside those bags was clothing they have identified as Christy Ruso's. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office is investigating. If you have any information that can help find Christy Ruso, you can call the Jasper County Sheriff's Office at 409-384-5417. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, Scott. What does that mean, Scouting dude? You mean they're like some creepy person out there? Yeah, it's out in the boonies. Alright, now we're, let's see, this is January 6th this year. It has been nearly 15 months since anyone has seen or heard from Christy Ruso, and family members are reminding the public that their loved one is still missing. The Jasper County Sheriff's Department says Christy, a resident of Buna, was last seen on October 21st, 2021 at a motel on Highway 96 between Evadale and Silsby. God, Gray, it's Evadale, man. Okay, Evadale, all right? No, Gray, it was actually Evadale. Then in December of 2021, some of her clothing was found on County Road 721 west of Buna. Christy Ruso is the mother of a teenage son and daughter, and her 32nd birthday is later this month. Meanwhile, the family has raised money as a reward for information leading to her, and that reward currently stands at $11,400. If you have any information about Christy Ruso, you're asked to call the Jasper County Sheriff Department at 409-384-5417. That's 409-384-5417. Or any law enforcement agency. You do not have to give your name. All right, and then there was this article on June 9th, 3 days after that last one, in the Beaumont Enterprise. The missing person case of 32-year-old Christy Ruso from Jasper County has left her family wanting answers after she went missing 15 months ago. Ruso was last seen being dropped off at a residence on Country Road 777, known as Gum Slough, or, yeah, see, a residence on Country Road 777, known as Gum Slough. So it isn't off of, you see what I'm saying? To locals in the rural, unincorporated East Texas town of Buna. But we know that the house, the residence that she was at is on 777 in the 1800 block. As a matter of fact, that's probably, let me look something up. Hold on, I can tell you which one it is. I looked her up earlier and I got that, but I should have went to the relatives, and probably her mother would be in here. Do they have Miller for the name? Just let me take a look at this. So they have a P.O. box listed. Now I'm just looking for relatives. Let me see what her criminal information is. It doesn't list any. Gosh, you guys, it's pretty early to get in this mode. See, James, Alvin, Miller, these are just different people. Let me... Yeah, there's none of these people have that address. So, it wouldn't matter, even if I found who the mom was. She got 17 relatives in here. Well, there's a... Oh, God. That could have been. That was the last name of Ruso there. Ooh, maybe this one. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Hold on. Wow. Oh, this is interesting right here, you guys. I just stumbled upon one of her relatives that lives at 721 on 721. I mean, don't you think that's a little interesting? Let's see where this person lives. Oh man, right there. I mean, is this where the trash bags were? That's a little weird, huh? You know, maybe. I mean, it's right there. 721 isn't even very long. It just goes from here to there. I wonder if that's the person. Oh, here we go. Oh, then another person lived with the last name of Ruso. I wonder if these are, if Ruso is her married name, though. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Rusos that live in Buna. But is that where she's from? Hey, thanks, Tawny Lee. Yeah, I thought maybe the button was broken. I know we're doing the non-popular cases yet again, everybody, but you know, why the hell not? They're very interesting, and they need to be discussed too, just like all the rest of them. Yeah, it seems like they all live, there's a whole bunch of people that lived at 721, on 721 in that exact house. A bunch of relatives live right here.
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
That's pretty weird. You gotta admit. Oh, the Avocado Dancer by Cali Gal 3. Thank God. And thank you so much for everybody who's helping support the channel. It allows me to keep doing what we're doing, and we're gonna make another donation probably in the next couple days. I gotta get more into the Wounded Warrior Fund. Another 500 or so coming up, and then the rest of the month we'll just do the typical, you know, DNA fund and whatnot. Crime dissector, detector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher. You can try and believe me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar, but I'm gonna be another lecture. Crime if you get like that, and I'm always gonna be a blah. That's like too fast, man. I can't do it. What do you mean, what is happening, Liz? What do you mean by that? What does that mean? What is happening? What the hell is this? That almost feels like one of those, doesn't it? Yeah, and please consider becoming a channel member if you're not a channel member, Sandra Turner and Liz. There's like these, you know, the $1.99 option in there. That also helps everything. Every single dollar is exactly the same worth. Okay? They all do the same thing. I donate over 50% of the net revenue to YouTube. I pay quarterly taxes. Okay, that's the other part of it. You know. So, I mean, you could just look at it like this. If I brought in 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 in 3 months, about, let's say, that would be, let's say it would be $30,000, right? Then I would be giving, then taxes would probably be, let's just say 12 or 13 of that, so there'd be 22 left. And I'd be donating 12 or so, you know, 11. Hey, thanks, KD Lady. But that's what I want to do. I don't have to do it. I mean, that's the thing. People, there's people that think that I either have to give every nickel or none. You know, and that's just not the way the world is. I mean, I don't see anybody with their own jobs where they're sort of forced to give 50% of their income to, you know, you would if you had maybe 2 jobs and you could do it, right?
Coming in from California on a
Rowboat.
Would have been
Yeah.
sooner, but forgot the
I heard it.
flushed face.
Thank you, Katie Lady. I just got a new foot ST job, full-time job. So I have missed a couple of shows, but wanted to say thank you. Oh, well, cool. God, you look so familiar, your face. That's funny. Candalee Woodward Stone. Yeah, you know what I think? You know what I think is bizarre in California? Probably in a year and a half from now, you'll have another drought. But let me ask you something. Why aren't you guys collecting on these farms? Like, I always I have these ideas where you have these water tanks and they have these extendable funnels that go way out or whatever it is, and you just collect all the runoff water, whatever it is, and you may have these big filters or whatever, and then you use that for the farming in the years that you don't have much. But instead, it's just drought after drought after drought after drought after drought after drought. Yeah, I think those laws are stupid. I mean, like, for example, some places you can't use a barrel to collect water out of your gutter. Why? I mean, who are these idiots that make these rules up? Well, because you won't have to pay as much for your water bill, you bastard, because you took some of the... Oh, yeah, because we're all collecting so much water into these barrels that it doesn't get into the groundwater, you know? Isn't it just sick? God. Yeah, that's not really what's happening. Yeah, no problem, Skip Tracer. I'm still going. I just did one of my side tangents that I always do. Trying to figure out that it's pretty interesting, though, that those trash bags, the location of the trash bags apparently are near where her relatives with the last name of Ruso, that might be a married last name. I don't know where that comes from, because Miller seems to be a name as well. I don't know why she was living on 777, which is right over here in this area. The 1800 block. Let me see if Google Maps has something better here. 1800 Gum. Let me use that address. Gum Slough Road, Boone, Texas. Okay. So now we actually have a little area here. Does it come with GPS coordinates? Yes, it does. Look at that. Right at the bottom. Now I can grab those, everybody, and just put them right into Google Earth. And there it is. Okay. So that's the 1800 block. We can take that. Put that right in that area. And now get rid of that. Alright. So this is where she was last seen. Right there. And one of these homes. So yeah, well, it's 1800 or 1900. Let me type in 1900 on this. Okay, so it's somewhere. It could be from here to there, so somewhere right in this area. So let me put this kind of here, just because that's in the middle. So that's where she lived at a residence. But then right over here, so okay, that's right there. And then apparently somewhere on 721 here, there's a trash bag that was wet that had clothing of hers in it. And she has family members with the last name of Ruso that live right here. So I'm just guessing that that's where on 721, because what are the odds that it's not that? All right, Ruso was last seen being dropped off at a residence. So she's being dropped off at a residence on County Road 777, known as Gum Slough to locals in the rural, unincorporated East Texas town of Buna. The timeline of Ruso's last whereabouts was in late October 2021, according to family members. Her family last saw her on October 21st when she was dropped off at the same residence she was last seen at on October 25th. Oh, wow. So somebody says she was seen on October 25th. Was in late October 20, according to family members. Her family last saw her on October 21st when she was dropped off at the residence. That's probably where she lives. So she was dropped off and then she was home. She was last seen on October 25th. Let's see, off at the same residence she was last seen at. I don't really get how they're wording this. Her family last saw her on October 21st when she was dropped off. So her family would either dropped her off there or her family lives there, but then why would that be the last time her family saw her? When she was dropped off at the same... I gotta read this again. This is kind of weird. The timeline of Ruso's last whereabouts was in late October 2021, according to family members. Her family last saw her on October 21st when she was dropped off at the same residence she was last seen at on October 25th. But I thought she was last seen here, so it's last seen by somebody else. There's a video footage of Ruso at Dollar Tree store. Alright, let me get that in there. And that's the one right there. Yeah, doesn't that look exactly... Wow, that almost looks like the exact setup as Debbie Collier, doesn't it? I mean, look at that. Jesus. The highway there, just a little different driveway over there. Man, that's just crazy. All right. Except that was a Dollar General, wasn't it? Oh yeah, there we go. Video of Ruso at Dollar Tree store in Evansdale, 10-minute drive from Buna on October 23rd. Okay, so she was still out and about. Still really crappy wording there. October 23rd. Or let's see, 2021 10 23. With a group of friends, the last known sighting of Ruso was on October 25th, being dropped off again at the known residence. Okay. Located at CR 77 in Buna. So that's the place in the 1800 block. So it almost feels like that's her house right here. 2 months later, in December 2021, a black trash bag of Ruso's clothing and belongings was found closer to town on CR 721 in Buna. Family members could confirm the content in the bag were her clothing and belongings. We just want answers and some form of closure, Ruso's family explains. The family has increased the reward amount to $11,400 and is asking the police to come forward with any information or knowledge about Christy Ruso. Contact Officer Jason McClellan. And that number is 409-994-4778. All right. Yeah, so I just read that one. I get to the next one. So then on March, just now, investigators trying to match DNA in Christy Ruso's case as new leads come in. You never know which lead will tip the scale. Those were the words of Jasper County Sheriff Mitchell Newman on Monday as he told KJAS News that having the Christy Ruso case back in the news lately has resulted in several new leads coming in. Meanwhile, I mean, that's kind of one of the things that just doing these cases, just randomly covering cold cases every once in a while, somebody sees something. You know, I do hear from family members quite a bit. You know, just, I mean, not every case, but just many, many times they've emailed and said, hey, thank you for covering a case that nobody else is looking at. Now, there you go. Let's see. Now we see the house here just really quick. Let me see if we can find that one. So we know it was probably right in this area. Off of 777. I was going to try to find that exact one. It's got a chimney right in the front. That's not it. This is October 2021. So not too long ago. I think that might be it, right? Yep, there it is. They painted it. That's the house right there, though. They painted the chimney. So this is the residence that she was staying at. Yeah, wouldn't they be the likely one to say, yeah, we don't know where she is? Alright, so let me just move this down here. And now I can actually go back to Google Maps here and get the precise address. Let me go up in the air here. Man, you guys are so lucky to have somebody like me that can do this stuff. God, it's unbelievable. Gray's such a narcissist, man. Did you hear, Gray? Yeah.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that is 1938. So it's not in the 1800 block. Unless this house is just different, like it's wasn't the residence. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there's that little sign there, right there. Ding, ding. Yeah, that's the one right there. It's actually 1938 County Road. Put that in the description here. So it's not 1800 though, but it's definitely the right house. They just painted it. The chimney, I'll show you again, just so you don't go, I don't know, Gray. There may be another house with the exact same. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. And the chimney's in the same spot. Looks, I don't know, that little square thing. I don't know. Let me make sure. Yeah, you got that big tree here. Let me go back over there. Like that. Yeah, that's it. No doubt about it. Different time of year, so yeah, you always got the clowns that come in here and they always tell you everything that's going on, even though you're just still working through the case. Yeah, let's see. So Jasper County Sheriff Mitchell Newman and his deputies returned to the County Road 777 south of Boona on Wednesday to continue searching for evidence as they investigate the disappearance of Christy Ruso. a woman, has been missing since October 2021. The latest search follows... well, I wasn't... what are you sorry about, Skip Racer? I was just reading what Zozo wrote. Somebody obviously put in a spoiler. The latest search follows the first search of the property that occurred on Tuesday, February 23rd, when Newman and others were assisted by crime scene technicians from the FBI. Newman has not said what, if any, was found in the first search that would lead them to search a pond on a property adjacent to where the search last week occurred. All right. Okay, there's a pond right there, and there's a pond here. I kind of wonder if it's this one, maybe. I mean, it definitely could be either one of these. I mean, you got a pond here, and another pond right there. I mean, she obviously, and there's another one there. And there's a little tiny one there. Here, I'll put one. I mean, she's been in jail. And I wonder what that was for. Because, you know, there might be somebody that needs to keep her quiet when she got out. The latest search follows the first search of the property that occurred on Tuesday, February 23rd, when Newman and others were assisted by crime scene technicians from the FBI. Newman has not said what, if anything, was found in the first search, and that would lead them to search a pond on property adjacent to where the search last week occurred. But Newman confirmed that they plan to drain or pump the water from the site in an apparent attempt to search the bottom. Chief Deputy Scotty Duncan has commended his team for their diligence and hard work throughout the case. Duncan said, "We will not stop this case until this case is solved." However, he admitted that it might take several days. Okay, so let's see if we can determine where that is. That looks like maybe they're digging in really muddy land. So if that was this, let me just look around out here. I'm glad we have this time of year in the street view. Just kind of wondering if that's the shed that's in the background. It's hard to tell. That definitely could be the pond right there. If that's the shed that we're... Look at, let me show you that again. See back here, let's see if the other's another house back there. No, man, that would have been so perfect if that was it. So no. Because there's a house that should be about right there. Well, that's 2016. What does it look like now? I mean, that sure looks good for that. Almost like they're digging right here. If that's the pond, but well, that could be that, unless just the way the camera is, that could be the house way over there. But don't really know for sure. All right. Come on. What's it doing? Let's see. Jasper County Sheriff Mitchell Newman said Friday evening that the search of the property and pond a pond, I think it's meant to say in New Buna, had resulted in no evidence. Before the search ended on Friday, Newman said they requested the assistance of Texas EquiSearch. There you go. Which is known for their searches both on foot and horseback, and also the Louisiana Search and Rescue Dog Team. There, the investigation will go from here is where the investigation will go from here is not known. However, Newman and his chief deputy Scotty Duncan have said they will not give up until the whereabouts of Ruso is known. Well, nobody knows where she is yet, right, Megs? Huh? 2003? What are you talking about? We're not on that kiss yet, Megs. God. Wild. Okay, let me ask you something, you guys. When you come in here, make sure that you're commenting on, if you're commenting on a case, the one that we're actually talking about. Okay, you can talk about going fishing, badminton, knitting, the great yarn project you just worked on, all that stuff. But if you're going to be talking about cases, make sure you're talking about the one that we're discussing. Okay? Because we're not talking, Megan is coming up later. We haven't talked about that one yet. So what happens then is everybody goes, oh, what? What do you mean? Ooh, ooh, ooh. And we just want to discuss this one right now. Is that cool? I know, it is kind of sad. It's bizarre. Bizarro world. Somebody reads a title and just runs in, oh, everybody, look at me. Yeah, it's bizarre. Really strange behavior on people. But, that's just the way it is. All right, lab tests being done on DNA samples taken from property in search of Jasper County woman missing since October 2021. I wonder if they can do something where like in a pond, if a body's in a pond, they can just test the water and find traces of somebody's DNA just because it sort of gets in the water. Wouldn't that be interesting? Colby Tatum was arrested during the investigation. Here, let me look him up. Yeah, whenever they say somebody else was arrested, but it's not related or something, it is. Okay, every single time. Yep. He lives in Buna. And, oh, now he's the one that does live at, there is an address in the 1800s. So this is where he was dropped off at. Oh, so they're searching these ponds But the address of the person that was arrested is right here. And that's in the 1800 block, so that wasn't an error that they made. All right, well, I'm glad I looked that one up. So that is, this guy is related to where she went. And whatever happened to her, this guy's related to it, in my opinion. Okay, so it's right there, and then possibly they think that she was put over here somewhere, away from his side of the street on his property. Christy Ruso disappeared on October 21st, 2021 in the 1800 block. So there you go. That's the guy. That's the house of County Road 777 in Boona. She went missing the day after she was released from the Jasper County Jail. Ruso was last seen when she was given a ride. What was this guy arrested for? Non-related charges. Yeah. You're right. They are unrelated. But a lot of times when there's really bad people, the police kind of just leave some of these smaller things going, little tiny charges against them. They leave them on the books so they can bring them in whenever they need to. Yeah. And it says, of driving while license invalid, a child safety seat violation. Yeah, come on. Theft and drug charges. Okay, there you go. Ruso was last seen when she was given a ride and dropped off at this guy's house. See, they're not saying that in the article, but we do know now that that is where, that's 1861 County Road 777, or also known as Gum Slough Road. So Ruso was last seen when she was given a ride and dropped off in the 1800 block of County Road 777 in Boona, according to File Stories. Thank you, Circa then. On February 23rd, 2023, deputies and FBI agents executed a search warrant at a home on County Road 777 in Boona. And I bet you anything that was the 18th. That's his address. On March 1st, 2023, law enforcement got another warrant to search a nearby property, that's the one across the street, based on what they found during February search. The DNA evidence recovered comes from flooring, the wall, and ceiling of the house searched. Oh, man. I mean, if that's true, then it's a little bit like... what was that case in... Colorado? My brain isn't working. Frazee, and what was her name? The woman that was a pilot, and you guys will remember quick. Come on, remember that? Frazee was the killer, and Kelsey. What was her last name? God, that is right. Kelsey Barrett. There you go. Yeah, so Kelsey Barrett. What was her name? And remember how the house was just covered with blood and everything? And that one, the girlfriend was made to clean up some of it, but she said she left some. So I bet you it's a similar situation here. In that case, it was a baseball bat. Yeah. Thank you, Mama 457 Rose. You know what's cool is I'm sort of feeling like we're back into the old the groove from a long time ago. Doing all these different cases that are really interesting. So it says the DNA evidence recovered from the flooring. That means there's blood. This is all blood here. The wall and ceiling of the house searched in the investigation, according to public information. The lab tests are being done by the DPS crime lab in Houston. The sample was given to Ranger Joe Harrelson to deliver to the lab. The pond near the house was drained as part of the search, but nobody was recovered. No body was recovered. Isn't that weird? Nobody and no body come from probably the same exact same thing. Yeah, so the pond near the house was drained as part of the search. So, the pond near the house. Which house are you talking about? This house doesn't have one. So the house that they definitely had blocked off was this one, and so maybe these ponds right here. I don't know. The DNA evidence recovered from the home, the flooring, the wall, and ceiling. Man, that's... Colby Tatum was arrested during the investigation on, quote, I'll put that on there, non-related charges of driving while license invalid, a child safety seat violation, theft, and drug charges. One last week, let's see, there it is. That's the exact picture of, if I went down to the street view right here, I think that's going to be it. Is it this one or right here? Yeah. Pretty sure that's this one. Can't tell 100%, but... That's not where the pin was. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's right there. Right on the 777 label. So there you go. That's the same image in the picture there. Come on, guys. We need to get the new channel members in here. Right, Carla? Come on. Texas EchoSearch and Louisiana Search and Rescue Dog Team began helping deputies and state troopers search property. Maybe this is where I should get a hold of Texas EchoSearch. I was about to get Tim Miller on like 2 days ago for that other case in Louisiana, the missing father who was really drunk, but I think this one's better. Texas EchoSearch, obviously has specialties that they can provide as well, Officer Sherry said, and so we have reached out to them, and they've graciously provided, as well as other entities that we have reached out to. So we're looking for factual evidence, and we're going to do this right. Ruso was last seen in the area. Investigators searched. A 12 News crew at the scene saw the search party digging with shovels and using a giant excavator. No physical evidence was collected during the search on Friday in the 1900 block. That's where we were just found. Country Road 777, but investigators continue to search it, continue to gather information that validates the direction of the case. Sherry says the large amount of physical evidence that was collected from the residents in the 1800 block, so there's just absolutely, I bet it's just absolutely filled with blood and just damning information. They're just trying to find her body at this point. They know that that she was killed, and I think they know that she was killed by the person that they have arrested. They're just not saying that yet. They want to get her body first, and then it's a slam dunk, right? I think that's kind of what's going on here. Thanks, Kami. The intensity of the search has given Ruso's family a newfound hope. Christy is my niece, Debbie Wilson, Ruso's aunt, previously told 12 News. We miss her, and I can say we want her home, but we know we won't have her anymore. See, they even know that. But at least we have closure. Investigators are working hard to give Ruso's family closure. Our goal is to close the case, Officer Sherry said, whatever outcome it may be. Well, that's where we're at on this one. So, I think, let's see what this is doing.
A developing Christy Ruso, a lot more 2021. In the past couple of weeks, we have watched as Jasper County FBI search Road 777. Now, this is at least 2 homes on County Road 777. Now, this is the area where Ruso was last seen. Investigators sent DNA one of the properties. Chief Deputy Scott Duncan has previously told us his department will not stop until the case.
All right. Well, there you go. That's a pretty interesting one, though. So, in the house back here, she was killed, and then she was probably in the middle of the night brought out to, they think, over to this area out here. Yeah. Alright. That was that doesn't have an owner. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, to me it's, I don't know what the, he probably just brought the body over there. All that matters to me is having the address on that one. The 1800 one is where he lived. So, anyways, I'm going to get to, we got everything mapped out here. I'm going to get rid of this one. That's not really needed anymore. I think it's interesting, though, that a bunch of her relatives live right here. Like 3 or 4 of them with her last name live right there, and the trash bags were found on this road. So you wonder if the person tried to make it look like a family member did something. Alright. Don't really have much more to contribute now, but maybe I'll get a hold of Tim Miller and see if he might come on and discuss what's going on. He's pretty good, right? So now we're at the, almost the halfway mark of the show. So if anybody out there would like to help support the channel, allows me to keep doing these shows every single day, and then it allows me to, just on behalf of the channel, donate a ton of money during the month and at the end of the month. We always go through these things, but since January 2020, we've given $139,750 to various true crime related charities, including a DNA fund that we've put over $50,000 in. This year, and then so 2020 we did 22,000, 2021 42,000, and this is directly from the income from the channel. And then 2022 62,250, and this year so far 13,000, with this month still to go. All right, so if you guys are channel members, I also sell these notebooks right here. They come with 2 freak pens. What sucked yesterday is I had 5 all packed up, except I forgot to put the pens in, so I had to redo all the labels and everything. It just sucked. I had to cut them open. Yeah. So if you send a 25 to PayPal, you get one of the notebooks and a stress ball, and you get the 2 pens and a notebook, but every once in a while I throw in stress ball too. Yeah, Tim Miller is sweet. Yeah. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Jesus. Thanks, Renee H.
The charity giving is so amazing.
Yeah, well, it's cool. I mean, you guys take care of me, but then I'm able to donate much more money because of what you guys are doing. You know, if it was, you know, if we did fundraisers every night, I think it would just be like, yeah, you know, start, and I wouldn't even be able to do the show, to be honest. But yeah, like I always say, you guys are the bosses. I mean, I do my own show, but there's no income from ad revenue unless I make a video, and I don't really have time to do videos, and other than every once in a while I'm able to do them. And so when we have nights where people are just, yeah, you know, I don't know, I'd rather just smoke my cigarettes or whatever, it's like, then it just goes, ooh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see. I think everybody just fell asleep during the last one. Thanks, Lisa Murphy. I thought it's interesting. It's cool to have everything mapped out, all the ponds and everything. I know it is a tough crowd.
I appreciate you, Gray.
It's pretty lame. That's one of the reasons why, even though it's fun, I like doing these cold cases. It's not. It becomes, there's a certain point where it's not worth it anymore. You know, so you guys are like pushing me towards just doing the really popular cases over and over and over again. You know, and I don't really want to do that. I want it to be like it. You know, whatever we're doing is what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, now on one of these other cases, I'm gonna do the 13-year-old abduction one next. Mm-hmm. All right, I don't know if you guys saw this. You know what sucks is when you tell people, hey, you guys are the source of the income, and then that's all there is on the channel, and then it just goes, feels shitty. All right, here we go. Disturbing, kidnapping, chilling images of shed where girl 13 was locked up 1,000 miles away from home after abduction by man she met online. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see Chloe eating anything.
We were able
Oh
to
yeah,
find
so I've already got that whole thing. But anyways, it says, the 13-year-old from Dallas, Texas was found by police over 1,000 miles away from home in Davidson County, North Carolina. Jorge Camacho, 34, was caught communicating with the girl through social media, that chat platforms, Davidson County Sheriff Richie Simmons says. This is becoming sort of an epidemic at this point. The content of the chat was consistent with grooming and enticement and he enticed her to leave the home where he picked her up in the Dallas area. Camacho allegedly paid the girl to leave her house and then picked her up in a car registered to an address in Davidson County, North Carolina. Police were able to track down the girl after receiving a tip about where Camacho was. Following a traffic stop, cops discovered the girl locked in a shed outside of a home in Davidson County. A photo of the shed placed next to the home was obtained. The girl was returned home after being treated at a local hospital. I thank God we were able to find this young girl, said Simmons. Thanks, Tina Susser.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave.
Let's see. The owner of the home on the property where the shed was located, Tropson said, she was unaware that Camacho kidnapped the girl and that the girl was being held hostage in the outbuilding. He lived with me 2 years. He don't show that he was that kind of person, so I don't know why he do that. Sim said that Camacho was a friend of her son and that she let him live in the shed because he needed a place to stay. Oh boy. So that was his home, that shed. And there are some nice sheds out there, but Thank you, Mama 457 Rose. Simmons warned adults to monitor all online communications, saying that this is becoming a major problem, and this is how kids are sold into human trafficking. Camacho was charged with child abduction, restraint of a child, human trafficking, 2 counts of statutory rape of a child under 15, 2 counts of statutory sexual offense of a child under 15, and indecent liberties with a child, with additional charges pending. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We feel so. We're still investigating this as well. During a court appearance on Monday, Camacho was seen smiling while the judge read his charges aloud. Thanks, Caligal 3 and Gummo. Yeah, I mean, the thing about this channel is it's different than other ones. See, we do all these cases that need coverage too, and we cover all the other ones, and we do it better than other people as well. So even the big ones and this one is just better. So, but we also make a huge difference to various charities out there. So what?
Ocean wave,
yeah.
Ocean wave.
Well, thank you. Let's give Grace some motivation and a little appreciation for the hard work he puts into. Yeah. So the thing is in some ways I don't like that. I mean, the thing is, I don't know what it is. On this channel, every single night, I try to raise funds to help support the channel and these charities because I want to do that. Okay, and we make a huge difference out there as a whole. And so it's become part of the show where I try to raise the funds, and some people don't like that part of it, but it just is what it is. If I don't do it, then it's not happening. I guarantee it that I think I probably result in me like 40% extra just by me saying, hey guys, don't forget to help support the channel. Whatever it is, okay? And that makes, that's just a ton of extra money. I mean, last year we did $62,000. Maybe it would have been 40, which is pretty good, but 20 extra thousand is good too. And my channel does better and everything, so it all works out. But I don't like having to do that part of the show. I actually can't stand it. It's just one of those things. If I don't do it though, it doesn't work. Hey, thanks, Katie Lady. And Mama 457 Rose. Yeah, so don't let it, if it's like it bothers you at times, it just is what it is, okay? I'm not going to do it differently because I know that It does help generate, and it allows us to do all the crazy shit that we're doing with the DNA. We have $50,000 in there, and that's kind of the biggest thing that we do, but obviously the money we give to NCMEC, RAIN, and Texas EquuSearch have a huge impact too and help them out dramatically. So that's all, that's all I can say, and it is what it is. I still try to do the show as best I can, regardless. So, spent the whole day doing this one. Got most of the little pins already placed out. So let me get to this case with Jorge Camacho. There he is. So I've got his home already on the map here. It's like, look how crazy it is. It's the brightest thing. You could see that from Mars, that house.
I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Love Gray and the community of freaks.
And so right here, they've built a shed in that location. Let me show you that. Does that not have it? I must be inside the shed. Oh wow.
It's really gross.
So what was that?
It's really gross.
So that's in the shed. So she was made to like live in here.
It is absolutely disgusting.
There it is. Yeah, see how that picture there has... This shed is in the one on Street View, but this is the one he's in, right here. This is the one he's living in, and that's where the girl is made to stay with him in that shed right there. And that's not there. See that on Street View there? It's not there. It's weird. I thought this was weird. Just the cars and everything. I don't know. Just so many cars. Just 5 cars in a little house like that. Okay, missing 13-year-old girl from Dallas found locked in shed 1,000 miles away. I think, and this
nearly
is the house.
1,100 miles from Dallas in Lexington, North Carolina.
It was very stressful and scary.
Inside this locked shed.
Heartbroken.
That crazy?
Very scared
That's
for her life.
That's
Police
her mom.
found this mom's 13-year-old daughter missing since March 1st, abducted and sexually assaulted, police say, by this man, 34-year-old Jorge Camacho.
We're hopeful to see her again, and thank God that was the case.
The teen last seen at these apartments in Dallas. Her mother, who we're just calling Estella to protect the teen's identity, immediately knew something was wrong when her daughter couldn't be found.
My mind ran with all types of, God, where is she?
But Estella knew her daughter was a gamer and decided to check her Discord, a popular messaging platform many in the gaming community use to chat with friends. In it, police and the FBI say they found messages from Camacho that were, quote, consistent with grooming and enticement. Estella tells us the teen met the 34-year-old while playing a game online.
You know the risks, which we did talk a lot with her.
Yeah.
But, this happened. It was something awful.
After police matched Camacho's car with one seen in security footage in Dallas near the apartments, they found the teen locked inside the shed, which has a mattress, a TV, and cabinets.
Like, that's where he stayed. Like, that was his place, like his room.
Others who live on the property say the shed was where Camacho lived, his, quote, room. They also say they didn't know the teen was here.
Didn't even, seem suspicious or anything, I thought he was a pretty cool dude.
Back in Dallas, Estella's daughter now home and safe.
We're gonna work together, get as much help as we can to grow stronger as a family.
But a warning to other families about who your children talk to online.
All right. Is there somebody in the chat named Blue Eyes Crying? I don't know. It says, it's me. Okay. I'll just try to do it. I don't know if that's the name, but I'll put it in the... Send a PayPal. Thank you. Yeah, that's just sick. Jesus. Girl abducted by a man she met while gaming online rescued. So, a 13-year-old girl has been found a week after she was allegedly kidnapped by a man she had been chatting with on social media. The U.S. girl was found locked inside a North Carolina shed on Friday, nearly 2,000 kilometers. This must be a not U.S. paper. 7 News. It's in Australia. Jorge Ivan Santos Camacho, 34, was charged with child abduction, human trafficking, indecent liberties, felonies, restraint, and a string of various rape charges. Camacho met the young girl online while playing video games and had been chatting to her for months using instant messaging platform Discord, the girl's mother told WFAA. Police said in a press conference on Tuesday that the girl was lured out of the house and abducted on Monday. The content of the chat was consistent with grooming and enticement, and he enticed her to actually leave the home, and he picked her up in the area. The investigation uncovered security footage near the girl's home, which captured a suspect vehicle, police said. The vehicle was registered to an adult male at 10438 Linwood Southmont Road in Lexington, North Carolina. Investigators conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle as it was leaving the property. During the traffic stop, it was determined that the juvenile was locked in an outbuilding on the property. Camacho was taken into custody, where he was interviewed and formally charged and held on $1.25 million bond, or 1.2 million, 1.8 Australian. An emergency response team surrounded the shed and located the girl, who did not appear to be physically injured, and was transported to hospital for medical evaluation. Camacho is scheduled for his first appearance in Davidson County Court later today. This is an ongoing investigation and additional charges are pending. Simmons said the message we want to send out from Davidson County Sheriff's Office is how dangerous these chat platforms are. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting so bad, it's ridiculous. You know, and you know what it's done is it's sort of pulled, like, I mean, it's these chat platforms have actually increased the active number of pedophiles. You know, the ones actually encountering girls. Because before, they didn't have a tool to do it. They were probably, you know, kind of scared away by, you know, like, oh man, this is too risky and shit like that. But using the anonymity on these platforms, they're able to contact people, and I think it's actually increased the number of contacts dramatically. Because they're able to trick and catfish people, and then they meet up with them. It also, and that's why there's so many of these online detectives, or whatever you want to call them, sting operations, pretending to be, because they're trying to catch them prior. But just think about all the ones that are getting caught, and they must have been successful on another attempt, or they wouldn't still be doing it. So that means they have met different girls at different times. And so I hope that every parent out there really, even if you think, oh, my daughter is so great, oh, she's the greatest in the world. I mean, I hope you think your daughter's great, but she would never do that. Just don't buy any of that crap. Okay, it doesn't matter what you teach your kid. It doesn't matter what you say and what all these different things. When they're alone and they're kind of by themselves, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do because they feel like doing it. Okay, and so don't trust that you think that because you're a good mom that they're not going to do something and communicate with these people. You know, I would make sure that you just absolutely lock down any of their social media. I don't know. I don't really care what game it is. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's tons of games where you have chat function and I'm telling you guys. I mean, I know there's mothers out there that think, "Oh, my kid, I've told them all this stuff. They're a good kid. There's no way they would do that." It's the same. It's always the same. Just like people who say, "Oh, I would never do the hot car death." Oh yeah, it never happened to me. And there it is. Boom. So just make sure that you tell your kids never to do that. And make it so they can't.
Thank you for covering this. Great. I miss joining you all every night, but always watch on rewind.
Well, thanks, Holly G. What's going on? Why can't you watch anymore? I even did an earlier show tonight. Yeah. Yeah, what are you studying for? Well, tell you what, let's just play the... I think these are all going to be about the same, I would imagine. The content of the chat was consistent with grooming and enticement. Cameras near the teen's home captured a vehicle registered to a man in Davidson County in the sheriff's office along with agents from the... What took them so long to get there, though? During the traffic stop, it was determined that the juvenile was locked in an outbuilding. Okay. I'm just going to play... Let's play the press conference here. Not that one. I got a final version.
Thank y'all for such a quick response in this. Just a lot going on, and it's kind of been the way our weekends went. All weekends been very fast. This whole thing did, but if y'all are ready, we're ready to go. Yes, sir.
I got the detective filter on the screen.
Sound good and everything? Perfect. Okay.
Used a couple different press conferences, edited them together as if there was multiple cameras.
I'm Sheriff Richie Simmons, Sheriff of Davidson County. Thank y'all for being here.
Again,
for
look at what I do for you guys.
Wonderful announcement. Things went very well for us Friday night on a very quick response. On Friday, March the 10th, approximately 6 p.m., the Davidson County Sheriff's Office was contacted by special agents with the Texas FBI Violent Crimes Task Force in reference to a missing 13-year-old female that was, we found out later, was taken from the area of Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas police were investigating the missing juvenile with the FBI's assistance. They were able to discover that the juvenile had been communicating with an adult male through social media chat platforms. The content of the chat was consistent with grooming and enticement, and he enticed her to actually leave the home where he picked her up in the area. Through investigative techniques that we used, it was determined that she was transported to North Carolina, in fact, into Davidson County in the Southmont area. We were contacted by the FBI's Greensboro office to assist, and we did. Our investigators got busy very quickly and started surveillance. We were able to make a stop of a traffic
Thank you,
vehicle
Peter.
stop,
and
we were able to get a target.
But thank you, Peter.
We were able to find the location of the 13-year-old juvenile. She was locked in a building, and with what we didn't know on site, we activated our CERT team that made entry into this building, into a home. We were able to locate the 13-year-old juvenile. We were able to transport her to local facilities where she was treated, and since then she's been taken back out to Dallas, Texas. With me today, I have Detective Jonathan Todd, Sergeant of Detectives David Blake, Detective Dakota Dennis, Special Agent Spainhour with the FBI Greensboro office. I have my captain of detectives, Stephanie Murphy. I have the lead detective in this is Caleb Forrest, and my sergeant over our ICAC division is Sergeant Hurd. The charges that's going to be that were filed, and first of all, the name of the suspect we arrested was Jorge Camacho, date of birth 6/26 of 1988. He is in custody here in Davidson County in lieu of $1,250,000 bond. Charges are child abduction felony, felonious restraint of a child felony, human trafficking felony, 2 counts of statutory rape of a child under 15, 2 counts felonies, 2 counts of statutory sexual offense with child under 15 felonies, and indecent liberties with a child. Again, he's being held at the Davidson County Jail. His first appearance is today at 2 p.m. It kind of is a resemblance. We had a case back in 2021 with a 14-year-old juvenile out of Denton, if you recall. This was and she was taken to a place out in Arkansas. We kind of got the reverse of this case, and we were the ones to be able to locate. So it kind of reflects on this. Messages we're wanting to send out from the Davidson County Sheriff's Office is how dangerous these platforms, these chat platforms are. And as parents, they've got to wise up and see that the dangers to these kids, it just continues to go on. Our case load for these type of cases since the 2021 case have just skyrocketed. I've actually asked for 12 more positions with the Sheriff's Office to enable us to have enough investigators to fight for these cases, and I've got it before my commissioners for our budget this term. So it's something that we really need, and we're taxed to the max and can't go any further. So it's things that we've got to get. We've got to get a hold on this, but we've also got to get the help of adults, of the parents, of the guardians of these kids. These phones, there's no reason to have a computer in the kids, when they go off. That's how these things happen, is not being supervised, and these kids are very sharp with these computers in their rooms. So our message is going to be, please help us out. I'm very thankful. I thank God that we were able to find this young girl. It may not be that case forever, and what these children must go through. They don't think who they're talking to. This is still under investigation, or I'd give you more details about it. But this is just the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, we feel. So we're still investigating this as well. Questions of what I can answer. There's very little I can answer, but we'll try.
Did you say that she was found in an outbuilding on the property? Did I hear that correctly, or did you find her in that? That's correct.
She was found.
Yeah.
You want to? Detective Caleb Forrest.
Yeah, yes, sir. To answer your question, she was found locked from the outside into an outbuilding on the curtilage of the property.
Thank you. And is there any, you talk about how important it is for parents. Is there any education in the Davidson County schools as far as trying to combat this situation so that parents and kids are more aware of these websites and trying to educate our kids about staying away and parents staying away from certain websites and chats?
And that's a great question. Yes, we do. We do a DARE program in the 5th grade, but it doesn't really cover that. It's just a DARE to keep our kids off of drugs and bullying and stuff like this. But I came up with a program when I come into office. It's called TAME, Teenage Alcohol Marijuana Education. And as we developed this program, I put a patent on it, not to charge or anything, but we don't want the program changed. But we met with our school administrators, we met with parents, we met with kids. As we developed this program, and COVID kind of kicked us in the gut with that. It stopped us because we weren't able to do it because they didn't have school. But we started it right before COVID. We're finishing our full second year with this program. But as we develop these the classes, and we do it over a 7-month program, it's not just a one-time thing, but we go to every middle school and we break it down into small groups. But one of the classes that we put together, or part of this program, one of the 7 sessions, is social media. And I have our DA's office, and I have one of our judges that actually helps teach this program for us that comes into our schools. But this program is really, we're finishing our second year, and we're starting to see other agencies want this program, asking for it. So and of course we're giving it to them. We've got an opioid settlement coming through, and we're trying to get the AG's office, Josh Stein's office, to release some of this money to help us teach these classes, to teach on the dangers of drugs. But there's so many dangers out here for our kids. It's not just the drugs, it's the social media, it's the things. It doesn't matter how they get harmed, taken, killed, or die. If it's affecting our kids, we need to get busy on this and do something about it. And we are here in Davidson County. Great question.
I know you can't say much, but it seemed very quick from the time that you received information from Texas to the time you were able to make an arrest. Is there anything you can say about just how quickly you guys were able to locate this suspect and make an arrest?
Special Agent Spanner and I were talking about this just before you came. It's unfortunate, but we're getting pretty old hat at this.
I mean, it was a little bit slow, right? I mean, didn't she go missing on the 3rd or something, and then they had the license, and should have led right to the house?
Stuff,
I don't know.
We're on speed dial with them, and they are with us, and that's the way we like it. We all work together so well, but we've had to do this so many times. It's crazy. That's why we're pleading with these parents. But yes, I couldn't commend. I've got my major over my CERT team that responded quickly. Detective Jonathan Todd was doing surveillance within minutes of getting the call. We responded. We come together quick. We've got a good team here in Davidson County. I'm very proud of this sheriff's office. I couldn't be prouder of my men and women that work here. They diligently go out day and night, and that's why we are needing. So it's a time when a lot of agencies are short. We're not short. We're actually full here at Davidson County, but we need more manpower here. Our population is grown, and our housing and commercials and things that are coming in here. We need more manpower, and we've asked for that manpower this year, and I know our commissioners and I know our county manager's we're hoping they'll give it to us. Yes, ma'am.
You were just talking about how, I mean, it was so quick that you found the teen, and this is a positive outcome, and it could have been a lot worse. But I'm sure the sheriff's office has conflicting emotions, because whenever you hear about cases like this, it's got to be really frustrating.
It is, and and it brings back so quickly. I mean, we really just scabbed over our case, and after that, there were 8 more cases after the one in Denton. This is becoming a major problem, and this is how kids are sold into human trafficking. They're not being able to be kids, and how a 13-year-old would think it was a good idea to leave the home. What are we teaching our kids in our homes? It scares me. And it scares me even more so that we have to have classes to teach our kids to be careful with social media. If it doesn't stop at home, it comes to the schools, and the teachers have that responsibility. And if it doesn't stop there, it comes to us, unfortunately. And that's it's a crying shame. We need to get serious as adults and as parents and as guardians to these kids. We're doing our part. I'm pleading with you to do your part. I think you've been at.
Yeah. Was there a specific thing that gave away the suspect that maybe you got from the FBI? Some information. Was it a license plate?
We're still going to put that under the investigative part of it. It's probably something we just don't want to answer at this time.
Not this time.
Yes, ma'am.
How long had we been communicating with the 13-year-old, and what was the nature of that conversation?
Again, this is going to be more things that there's going to be more charges pending, and we don't want to hurt Dallas's case. We don't want to hurt the FBI if it goes in federal. So we got him. He's stopped now. We just don't want to release too much right yet. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not sure if you can say this, but is he a resident in Davidson County or from Texas, or I know it's found in Southmont?
He's a resident. He was holding residence at this place where we located.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
On a federal level, can we have you kind of talk to us about, the severity of these cases and maybe, the magnitude and the, how many you've been seeing and...
As the sheriff indicated, I'm Supervisor Senior Resident Agent Philip Spainhour. I'm the supervisor for the Greensboro FBI office as part of the Charlotte field office for here in North Carolina. Again, I can't speak to the investigation, as the sheriff has alluded to. It's ongoing. It involves multiple agencies on a local, state, and federal level in multiple jurisdictions. I just want to say that I do appreciate greatly the partnership we have with the Davidson County Sheriff's Office. As the sheriff alluded to, unfortunately, we've had to work on these types of cases together many times now. But that relationship and partnership that we have with the Sheriff's Office was key to how quickly we were able to react to the information that was passed on to the FBI late Friday night that we shared with the Davidson County Sheriff's Office. They reacted to it immediately, and obviously, as the sheriff indicated, we had a very successful outcome where we were able to recover the juvenile successfully and safely, as well as apprehend the suspect. So.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do we know if the suspect had a history of being a child predator or any other sex charges?
I don't think we're going to release that right now.
Yeah, let's hold off on that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do we have the location of where she was found?
Yes.
It's going to be 10438 Linwood Southmont Road in Lexington, North Carolina.
Got it. And it was outside of the home.
It was on the curtilage of the property.
It was on the curtilage in the outbuilding. It's where we located her in a lock. She was locked in that building and couldn't get out.
Can you spell his last name?
Yes, C-A-M-A-C-H-O, Camacho.
And the first name while you're at it, sorry.
J-A-R-G-E. Date of birth, Jorge Camacho. Date of birth is 6/26/1988.
And I know that the warrant said that she was picked up from her car. We wanted to find out, was she flown here, or did the suspect go to Texas and pick him up?
So without going into great detail, there was some camera activity that we were able to locate his vehicle in the general area of where she was located and then brought back here. I know that's vague, but I don't want to go into great detail where that's concerned.
And do we know when you guys received the tip or got the tip?
So we got the tip from the FBI this past Friday night at around 6 p.m. And within 10 minutes, our guys had eyes on that residence surveillance. Everything moved fairly quickly after that.
Okay, all right. Again, I thank you very much for your response. You guys help us get the message out, and hopefully the message will be to stop our kids from being taken. That's what we want to do. That's the bottom line of what we want. We want this to be the last time we ever do anything like this. Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Good news. Awesome. But it's also scary that there's so many predators out there just like that. But we're definitely in the zone at this point. So I don't know. I might just that other case. You know, it's a pretty long one. I think I'm just gonna watch the Blazer game, do something. But it's I'll save it for tomorrow. The Megan, the Megan McDonald one, because it's kind of longer, and just by the way things are going, it's, you know. Yeah, there was a cool interview that a station did on the case, but I can't, they wouldn't let me use the video, so I actually had it, there's a, you know, I used this kind of a clever technique to, there's a website that creates, underneath the video does a, you know, closed caption, you know, there's a website that just does it. But what was cool is I played the video, and then because my system audio is also part of the mic, using this this board that I've got, I was actually able to play the video, and then this closed caption software actually recorded all the words that were in the video. So it was pretty good. Yeah, but we don't have it. I don't have a way to do closed caption live. But I wasn't asking about if you liked it or not. I was just saying that I used it to capture the, you know, get a transcript of the video. Yeah, I'll probably do it. I'll probably just do it tomorrow. I mean, it's just absolutely, you know, died down in here. So, thank you to Renergy on PayPal. Thank you. Now let me take a look at it though. Let me see how much I have. Or maybe I can throw myself in prison just to get to the last part. It's about the only thing that works. Yeah, I'd like to watch the game. Hey, all right, look at that. Plato threw me in prison. Because I'm mean anyways. So it never fails. Never fails. Look at that, 4 people now. Because I could probably do this one in less than an hour. And right now it's 2:04. It might take me a while to read the transcript. And I'm putting you guys in prison for the situation. Where is it? Oh yeah, so if I put there's the chat. Oh, that's funny. Yep, there's Plato. Maybe get her out of prison. Well, you were just in prison yourself, Holly. Did you see that? When I clicked on there, look, there you are.
Jail, jail, jail. Woman running.
Here we got Plato. This is about the only way to raise funds on here. Plato and True Blue and Renergy. And what are you guys getting? Oh, stay in jail, Renergy. That's a -5. So that means we got jail, jail, jail. So Plato put me a -5. Then True Blue got it to 0. Then Renergy -5. And then Katie Lady is negative. Now we're at -3.
Reading, ocean wave, ocean wave.
Man, I've never
ocean
seen so many
wave,
people keep me
ocean
in.
Wave, ocean wave.
Then WNC Granny did the +7. That's enough for the guard to look the other way.
Stay in jail.
Lisa Valenzuela. Thank you. Not your average chick. And now I'm bailing you. You're bailing me. Oh, thanks. Renee H.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Bail for whoever
We're
is
almost
in jail.
at the minimum notebook stage. Not quite even there yet. Thank you. Blue Eyes Crying.
Let my
Hey, look
baby
at it.
go.
I got sunglasses and a sunflower seeds. There's Renee H. Not your average chick. So Valenzuela. WNC
And now I'm
Granny.
bailing you out. Smiley face.
Yeah, we'll stay in here until we get to the minimum notebook range. I'd like to give one out. Well, I can't do the auctioneer because the auctioneer doesn't have anything to do with it. Almost. Now we're only... What is it? We are $3 short of the notebook, which is really isn't what I normally... And Adram was $1 short of the notebook. And there we go. Yeah, Jeff. One of these days, Jeff. One of these days. Oh, thanks, Jeff and Lisa Taylor. Okay, let me. I can get out of here now. Lisa Taylor. All right. Well, thanks, freaks, for the jail-breaking wave. There you go. Like I said, I don't like having to do these little things like that, but I got to keep moving along on the channel or we get into a crappy place. Yeah, I don't know what your real name is, Blue Eyes Crying. I just sent out 5. I got to send one to Kubi. I don't know, for some reason, I didn't see one she ordered. But I got her on the list for the next one. And somebody ordered one tonight, so maybe I'll send out 2.
Oh, I'll do Chewbacca.
Oh, you did? Okay. Did you want a notebook, Pamela? Or don't say your name, but just never mind. Oops. If you want a notebook, let me know. But, well, I didn't say your last name, so you could just. Well, I didn't say her last name, so that's what matters. That's not really an uncommon name, right? Yeah, I guess you can't answer. Well, if you want to send me an email, you can. But. Yeah, I think I know. Yeah, there it is. Oh, you just ordered one tonight, right? Blue Eyes Crying? I just wanted to get an answer for that. Nana. Did you want a notebook or something, or it doesn't have an address with it? But if you want a notebook, you can just let me know. All right, so here we go. So this is Megan McDonald. Yeah, it's a kind of a weird case, to be honest with you. The Megan McDonald one. So we'll start off. I have a 2022 article. She went missing in like 2000 and, or yeah, what was it? 2003-ish. Yeah, I mean, 19 years ago, the battered body. This is a 2012 article. 19 years ago, the battered body of 20-year-old Megan McDonald was found on a dirt path in Wallkill, Orange County. And I guess this is in, I thought it was New York, if I remember right. Yeah. It's on the eastern part of New York there. So 19 years ago, the battered body of 20-year-old, I guess she's not missing, she was found. 20-year-old Megan McDonald was found on a dirt path in Wallkill, Orange County. Paul DiGiacomo, president of the Detective Endowment Association in New York City, only recently learned the cold case murder victim was the daughter of a former New York Police Department investigator, Dennis McDonald. He viewed the crime scene photos and told PIX11 News Megan McDonald suffered brutal head injuries. They were horrifying, DiGiacomo said. Even to a seasoned detective like myself with 39 years on the job. DiGiacomo got in, I'll just say it, the detective got in touch with the New York State Police, where major crimes investigator Brad Natalizio has reviewed 1,000 tips in the case. McDonald was a SUNY Orange College student working her way through school with a waitressing job at the American Cafe in the Galleria Mall. This case is unique in nature because the level of violence we saw inflicted on Megan is something I've never seen in any other case. The student's father had retired from the New York Police Department in 2000 and died suddenly in 2002 at the age of 47. Meg McDonald's older sister, Karen Whalen, said there was no warning. McDonald's sister is now aware that investigators have a prime person of interest. They're poised to arrest in the student's murder if they get a witness to come forward to corroborate their evidence, which includes DNA. We don't want to convey that we're sad anymore, Whalen told PIX11 News over the phone. We want this killer to know that he's a coward. He attacked my sister from behind. He was a coward, and he can't keep hiding. Investigators said the first suspect back in 2003 was one of McDonald's ex-boyfriends, but this original suspect has been eliminated, and we have a new person of interest in the case. The detective said people living in Wallkill and Middletown in Orange County need to erase the narrative they've heard about the case for so many years and consider the new evidence state police have accumulated. The Detective Endowment Association is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest, and the FBI is offering another $10,000. Last year, investigators did a recanvass of residents who lived at the Kensington Manor Apartments in Wallkill, where McDonald's white Mercury Sable was found abandoned on March 14, 2003. The date was actually the date she was actually killed. Let's see. Last year, investigators did a recanvass of residents who lived at the Kensington Manor Apartments. Oh, cool. That's what I wanted to get that. I was looking for that piece. No, I guess I already had that. Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't even think I've even shown you a picture of her yet, but we'll get one in a second. One resident of the complex told them she recalled something very specific about the early hours of March 14th that year. A Honda Civic that had a loud sound system. The detective said the hatchback was observed following Megan's vehicle the night of the homicide in the Kensington Manor area. This information is important because it's consistent with a person of interest who did operate a vehicle back then of that style. The state police investigator said the man with the loud sound system got into Megan McDonald's Mercury with another man. They drove off and were hanging out near Bowser Road in another part of Wallkill. The evidence revealed she was killed in the driver's seat of the Mercury Sable at the crime scene at Bowser Road, and that she was dumped out of the car. The two men then drove McDonald's vehicle back to the Kensington Manor complex. One of the men who was in the car died in recent years. Investigators said he was tormented by what he witnessed inside the Mercury. The other man is the prime suspect. The FBI did a behavioral profile of the suspect and concluded he was a manipulative narcissist. He's a very controlling individual, and we believe that's why we haven't gotten the cooperation of the community. The state police want the suspect's friends to know they are not a target of the investigation. The state police investigator said the suspect has been intimidating members of his inner circle for years, keeping them quiet about what they know. We're here to tell these individuals they're not going to be in trouble. We support them. It's a crime of rage, is what they said. State police have a very good timeline of Megan McDonald's final day. Well, I actually have it in this other document, so I'm going to skip that. And so, in the description, there's a link to a video. I mean, you can watch it later. I have the transcript of it because they wouldn't let me play it. I don't know why people. It's kind of weird when people don't do that. When it's like you'd get more traffic over there and people might notice you. But I mean, if anybody asks me if they can use my videos, I usually say yes, unless it's somebody I don't like already and I don't respect their work or something. But if it's somebody like, they want to use it and they ask, that's great. But there's so many people that don't ask. Like if there's just some clips on a case or something that's 2 minutes long or whatever, it's just, big deal. But when you do a full video and somebody just takes that, it's not great. Alright, so I got the video transcript right here. And it's pretty, it's pretty extensive. But it's interesting, It's got the entire timeline and everything. So let's go through it. And I have images that I just took a couple still frames here and there. On the morning of March 13, 2003, let me make it, it's probably about as big as I can let's see, make the font 14. Hold on, let me show you a picture of her first. So that's her right there. And this guy he's the one that's in the video. Some people interviewed him and he gave a pretty good timeline. So it says, on the morning of March 13th, 2003, Megan, she went to work at the American Cafe located in the Galleria Mall in the town of Wallkill. So let's see, where is that? Yeah, right here. It's in, no, so that's not correct, this one. It's right here. Okay, and let me show you the picture that was in their video that they made. This one. So there's the American Cafe that's in their video, and it took me a while to find it. And I had to go around this whole building and go to Street View and everything. And then finally I went to right here, and it was kind of cool because, you know, I you know, it doesn't look the same, but I knew that was it. You know, look at this. See, it's just been changed, but look, it has the same, these little pillars built on it. It's just been removed and repainted over. So that's where she used to work, in this building right here. That used to be the American Cafe, was right in there. And she was there at 3 p.m. Are you guys ready to go with this instead of just goofy comments in the chat? All right, here we go. And remember, you can still do your goofy comments. I just say that sometimes because I get frustrated. All right? All right, cool. Yeah. So it says she went to work there from approximately 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. A little after 3 p.m., we know that she went to the HSBC bank. I couldn't find one anymore in Wallkill, so this is 2003, so they probably changed it at that point. Or it's been changed since then. It's probably still a bank, but another one. At approximately, so she went to the bank at approximately 7. Well, it says she went to the bank in a town of Wallkill, and then at approximately 7 p.m. later that night, she pulled up to the area of Greenway Terrace, where there was a party. Here, some of her friends were inside, but she parked her car on the roadway, and several of her friends approached her vehicle, and they had a conversation. So let's show her that is. Let's see, Greenway Terrace. Yeah, here it is. So it was in here, but apparently, like, she parked out here. I don't know which unit it was or whatever, but she parked her car out here, and then it said, so she parked her car on the roadway, and several of her friends approached her vehicle, and they had a conversation. During the course of that conversation, those two friends advised her to come inside of the party, at which point she declined and advised that she was going to hang out with her Middletown friends. And then she proceeded to leave the area of the Greenway Terrace and proceed to the city of Middletown. Those individuals then went back inside of the party, so the two people that went outside went back into the party. This party is very, very significant later that night, after she hung out with her friends in the city of Middletown, she hung out with that friend from approximately 7:30 p.m. till approximately midnight. She told her friend that she was going to leave, that she had to wake up early to go to work the next day at the American Cafe, and she ultimately came back to this location at Greenway. So she went back to the party after she left her friend's house at midnight. She goes back to the party right here in this area where the two people came outside to say something. God, you guys. Where she pulled up to this party, at which point two different friends exited. Let's see. Let me do that again. You guys are throwing me off with your just absolutely nonsensical comments, unrelated to what we're, I don't know where Spirit Box played a role into what we're talking about. After she hung out with her friend in the city of Middletown, she hung out with that friend from approximately 7:30 p.m. until about midnight. Then she told her friend that she was going to leave, that she had to wake up early to go to work the next day at the American Cafe, and she ultimately came back to the location at Greenway Terrace. She pulled up to this party, at which point two different friends exited the party and observed Megan, but interesting that she came back to this location considering her new apartment was on the other side of town. That friend had a short conversation with Megan. There appeared to be nobody inside the vehicle with her at that time, but she did advise that she had arranged to meet other individuals. Megan then left this location, and she was last observed traveling down Cindy Lane here from Greenway Terrace. Where's Cindy Lane? Oh, right there. Okay. Yep. So she was last observed here. Huh? Hello? Thanks, Jennifer. She was last observed traveling down Cindy Lane here from Greenway Terrace, but Megan was very familiar with this neighborhood. She had a lot of friends in this neighborhood, including individuals that were at the party. She grew up in this neighborhood until she moved to her new apartment approximately 2 weeks prior to the homicide. And I don't know where her apartment, where she lived. After her stop on Greenway Terrace, unless maybe that is her apartment, the one where her car was found, but I don't know. After her stop on Greenway Terrace, her vehicle, as well as either an older model Honda Civic hatchback, dark in color, or a hatchback-style vehicle with an extremely loud sound system, that vehicle was observed following her into Kensington Manor by a resident here. Both vehicles circled the parking lot 2 times, and then that resident, so let's see, a Honda Civic hatchback, dark in color, or a hatchback style vehicle with an extremely loud sound system, that vehicle was observed following her into Kensington Manor by a resident here. Both vehicles circled the parking lot 2 times, almost like she was figured out that he was following her and kept going around. And then that resident advised she did not see the vehicle after that point until Megan's vehicle was ultimately recovered on March 17th, 2003, when she said the vehicle I saw the night of the homicide was being followed by a dark-colored either Honda Civic hatchback dark in color or hatchback style vehicle with a very loud sound system. I guess it's repeating. He tried to evaluate the significance of each location. Each location has a purpose. It's not just random. Kensington Manor has a very, very important purpose. This specific location, we're not going to get further. And why? But I'm just reading because this is it might not be perfect transcription here, but then the vehicle was ultimately observed here by another resident of Kensington Manor on March 17th. The vehicle was abandoned here. Whoever drove this vehicle back, they ditched the vehicle. It was not parked up in in an appropriate parking spot. It was parked in between two spots. And there was clear evidence that whoever drove the vehicle back got out of the vehicle in a hurry and left the scene. So the vehicle was processed at the State Police Headquarters in 2003 for DNA analysis swabs as well as fingerprints. Over the years, technology has evolved. DNA has been resubmitted numerous times. Investigators from approximately 2008 on, the investigators that had the case then did a phenomenal job with DNA analysis in this case, which has ultimately led us to where we are today, where significant DNA evidence in the vehicle that links to individuals of interest in this particular case. So the DNA that they found in the vehicle links to people of interest that they've had. So DNA evidence has ultimately sent to our New York State Forensic Investigation Center in Albany on the process. Let's see, in Albany on the process, the DNA. They processed the DNA there. Ultimately, the past year there was a lab called Cybergenetics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where they processed the electronic version of the DNA to break down a statistical ratio and provide a statistical ratio of DNA that may be on certain items of evidence. We submitted DNA to that lab. Electronic DNA yielded positive results of an individual of interest in this particular case of a very important piece of evidence inside the vehicle. So they have an item there that they think directly points to who the killer is, and one of their suspects' DNA is on that item. Pretty sweet. This location, as we can see, is extremely rural. Okay, so I was able to find this. I was this is one of my, I thought it was pretty cool. I knew the road name, and then they gave a picture out. Let me show you the pictures they had. So the first one I saw was this one. Well, actually, this is the detective, Brad Natalazio. He's in the one that was mentioned in the article. It's hard to say, but he's the one that was in the interview in the video. And if you look at that, and then there's another shot that he was doing out at this location, but he wasn't in the shot, and that's all I had right there. Okay, but I knew what road it was on, so you can see this little path right there, and then you can see that there's a field past a bunch of trees, right? So I went up and down the street over here, looking, and I was going down like this, and then right there I could see this going on, and there's no street view there. Okay, but so I chose this location. That's why it says maybe here. Okay, and then there was another shot that they had in the same video, which is this one. Okay, so after they presented this shot here, I went to verify my location, and then I went to right here, and then I can see that there actually is this little road that goes up leading to this house right here, and that happens to be exactly what this is. And this road right here is actually the beginning of this one, looking out into that field. So this is where her body is found, right over here on this property. Right in here. Again, man, you guys are so lucky. Yeah, it says, this location, as you can see, is extremely rural. It's desolate. You have to know exactly where this dirt path is. We feel that this is very significant in the course throughout the course of this investigation. We tried to determine the significance of that one of the two individuals that are present with her that night was actually granted, I mean, listen to this. So one of the two people in the vehicle, they were granted permission to utilize this location to hang out with friends, and he was here numerous times in the past. At this location is approximately 7 miles from the location where she was last observed and the Greenway Terrace area, and then approximately 7 miles from her new apartment, which is located on Karen Drive. Oh, okay, so she actually lives on, let's see where that is. Oh, so she lives way over here. And she lives on apartments. Well, that says Karen Joy. This is what I wanted, this one. Karen Drive, that's over here. Well, cool. So probably in these apartments, right? I mean, if it's Karen Drive, these aren't apartments, but I mean, maybe they are. She said she lives in a new apartment. These are apartments, but that's Rose Crest Drive over there. So I don't really know, but this is, let's just say this is where she lived over here. Yeah, so she's found there. Yeah, it's about the same distance from here to here, there to there to here to there. Let's see, the significance of that one, let's see, where are we here? 7 miles of the location where she was last observed and the Greenway Terrace area, and then approximately 7 miles from her new apartment, which is located on Karen Drive. So you know why didn't she go back to her new apartment? We believe that she did not want to go back to that location because she doesn't want to bring the individual that she was with, the individual in the back seat, back to that location. It's something happened here and an argument ensued at this location. Working with the FBI Behavior Analysis Unit, they described what they believed it to be a narcissistic injury that the suspect received. Does anybody know what that means? What is a narcissistic injury? It's what, and it's referring to what they received. Let me look it up. There must be a term. Also known as a narcissistic wound or wounded ego. Oh, I see. Are emotional traumas that overwhelm an individual's defense mechanism and devastate their pride and self-worth. There you go. I've never actually ever heard that used like that. Interesting. Alright, so they describe that they believe it to be a narcissistic injury that the suspect received from Megan, at which point that individual snapped and completely lost his composure and conducted a blunt force trauma to Megan, causing her death. Maybe that's what Brian Laundrie had, something like that. Causing her death, Megan was ultimately killed in the driver's seat of her vehicle by the individual in the back seat. So the individual in the back seat hit her in the head or something, and then dumped her in the field and left here until she was found several days later. The individual then, in a frenzy, left this location and then drove the vehicle back to the Kensington Manor parking lot and then quickly fled the scene from there. Wow, so they drove her body out there, dumped it, and then drove her car back to, I think maybe she lives in the Kensington. No, she doesn't. So I'm not sure why. That must be where they left their car to get into her car, so needed to drive back to dump her car at the Kensington Manor to get back into their car. Yeah. We are only after one individual. We are after the individual that murdered Megan McDonald. The other individual that was with her, we're not after him. We're not after his family. We're not after his friends. We believe that he was just hanging out with her that night and observed this happen right in front of his eyes. We only want the one individual that did this. The individual had the motive and ultimately was a crime of passion. We know that there are probably less than a handful of individuals that have direct information, and we're urging them to come forward, and we want the community to support them to come forward, and there's going to be no collateral damage from this. Nobody else is going to get in trouble. We are only after the one individual who committed this crime. So that was the as good as the interpreter was able to get it in the transcript of the video. This is the FBI.gov website here. That's her. The FBI is offering a reward of $10,000 for information leading to the arrest of this person responsible for the murder of Megan McDonald. The Federal Bureau of Investigation in New York is seeking information regarding the murder of 20-year-old Orange County, New York resident Megan McDonald. McDonald's body was found on March 15, 2003 in a field off Bowser Road in the town of Wallkill, New York. Her 1991 white Mercury Sable was discovered 2 days later in the parking lot of Kensington Manor apartment complex, also in Wallkill. The cause of her death was determined to be blunt force trauma. At this time of her death, McDonald worked at the Galleria Mall in Middleton and attended Sunny Orange County Community College. Now that's the link. So in the description, this is the video that that I was reading the transcript from. So basically, she went to work over here at the American Cafe, and then after that went to a bank, and then after that went over to a party that was, let me see, where is it? Right here. No, that's Middletown. Let's see. Yeah, it was right over here at the Greenway Terrace. So she went to this party but stayed out in her car, and then two individuals from the party went out and talked to her, but she said, no, I got to go to this other party, or I got to go meet my friend over in Middletown. So then she went over to her friend at Middletown, got over here maybe at 7:30, just somewhere in Middletown here. I don't have the address. And when she went to the town, she stayed there for about 4.5 hours and left at midnight. And then instead of going home, which is right there, like instead of just going home, which she kind of told her friend because she had to get up early, she drove all the way back out to the party again. And then two other individuals came out. And then she drove home, heading out. She went off on Cindy Lane and then out here probably. And then Kensington Manor is right over here. So after that, she drove over here. And then there was a car following her around, and I guess made 2 loops around the parking lot. So maybe it was kind of like this whole thing here. And I read in one article that they got in the back of her vehicle. They got into her car in this parking lot here, and then drove her. Obviously, the guy in the back killed her, and then drove her out to this spot right here, and dumped her body likely maybe out in this field right here. Okay, then they got back into her vehicle because they used her vehicle to get there, and they drove it back to the Kensington Manor, which is right over here, and left the vehicle but parked it in such a way where it was in between two parking spots. They left in a hurry, and they obviously left something in the car that had relevance to the murder, and they've detected DNA off of that. So there you go. That was the breakdown after we went through the timeline. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that one's really, I think it's interesting as hell too. I want to know what the hell they found in the car, and you know, specifically whose DNA that was. I don't care, Wendy, as we've said 1,000 times. Let's see. I personally think the other person in the car lived at Kensington Manor. Maybe. What do you mean, you personally? I mean, what, you know, what makes you have a better thought than somebody else? I mean, yeah, maybe he lives there. You know, you never know. You never know. It's not a big town. How do they get in her? I don't know. I think she must have had it slowed down or something, but I read somewhere where they got into her car. State police revealed that the first time last year the male suspect had been driving a Honda Civic hatchback with a loud sound system. I think it was down later in this one. It was a very vicious attack on the young girl, and she was very promising future ahead of her. State police, investigators didn't, I think it was in the timeline section down here. State police have a very good timeline of Megan McDonald's final days. The young woman worked until 3 p.m. at the American Cafe, then went to the bank at 7 p.m. McDonald drove by a party at Greenway Terrace at 7 p.m. she went by that party. At midnight, Megan McDonald left Middletown and drove back to Wallkill. In the early minutes of March 14, 2003, she briefly returned to Greenway Terrace, but then left. At this point, the Honda-style hatchback was seen following McDonald's white Mercury near Kensington Manor, investigators said. Two men then got into McDonald's car, according to investigators. It's believed Megan McDonald was killed in the early morning hours of March 14, 2003, but her body wasn't found until 1 p.m. the next day near Bowser Road. Her mother was trying frantically to reach her on the phone. Last year, Karen Whelan described her sister as amazing. So there you go. That's the part right there. Yeah, see, it's just one of those other crazy stories. It's just weird out of the timing of things. If this case took place in, a big city and was happening right now, there'd be all kind. This would be like one of those ones everybody was really interested. Oh my God, and looking up everybody and trying to figure everything out. But it's just not one of those. It was pre-true crime. Yeah, lots of couldas. Yeah. Just a second. Trying to get something in there. There we go. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you thought that was interesting. I mean, I'm not sure what to... I know that it seems like they're close in this case. They just need one person to say something. But why wouldn't the DNA be good enough? You know, maybe it was somebody that had access to the car and could explain it somehow. But yeah, the first case had no information. I just wanted to get it out there. But the other three I thought had a lot of... you know, things to think about. And yeah, love the Beastie Boys. Yeah. So thank you to Tina Susser, Donna D with the cat eye there, K Me, Nana Pam, Adniram, Caligal 3, Tawny Lee, Caligal 3 with the cat eye. Thank God for both of those. And thank you very much to Katie Lady, Candalee Woodward Stone, Tina Susser, Circa Then, Mama 457 Rose, K Me, Renee H, Lisa Murphy, Tina Susser, Marie Crosley, Mama 457 Rose, Caligal 3, Gummo, Mama 457 Rose, Katie Lady, Wild Mountain Time, Peter Holly S, Plato, True Blue, Renergy, Katie Lady, WNC Granny, Lisa Valenzuela, Not Your Average Chick, Renee H, Blue Eyes Crying, Marlene, Adniram, Jeff, Lisa Taylor, Jennifer Epic, LM, Mama 457 Rose, and Lanky Tor right at the end there. Gotta put you in there. And thank you, Lanky Tor. Alright. Then, hold on, I gotta get the PayPal individuals in there. So thank you to Blue Eyes Crying, Renergy, so Renergy, and then also, yeah, it's Renergy, and there was one, I thought there was another one in there, hold on. Yeah, and then, wait, Renergy, and then, wait, did you do two Renergy? Confused. $7.13, and the other one was at, oh, there's two at $7.13. I don't know if you meant to do two or not. Let me know. I don't know if I got two or if it was just some duplication deal. Thanks, Carly S. And then thank you also to Nan Pam. Is that what it said earlier? Can't remember now. But Pam, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I'll be sending you off the notebook. All right, you guys ready for the spin? And if you ever ordered one and you were supposed to get one, just show me where you ordered it and I'll make sure to get a notebook out to you. Like if you feel like you ordered one a month ago and you never got it or something. Now, if you're in Australia, it might take that long to get it. All right, here we go, you guys. Yeah, I think I sent one to Zozo and it took like a month and a half. They sent it all over the world. It was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. We kept tracking it like, oh, it's in Hawaii now. And, oh, and then they put it on a boat to Australia. And then it made it to some other city, and then finally made it down to the other city. Really weird shit. All right, everybody, here comes the notebook spin. Oh, look at that. K-Me. There you go, K-Me. Awesome. Wow, look at Chloe. Look at Chloe, so happy. Chris came home. Sorry, Jeff. One of these days, man. One of these days I'll just have you send me an email or something. You've tried so hard. Yeah. All right, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Sorry for having to pull out the jail maneuver, but it did get us into the notebook realm, so appreciate that. And you know, gotta get keep the show on the right track. So right now we're just doing the shows every single night. We're at 13,000 this month. Maybe we'll get up to, I don't know, hopefully another. We've already done 1,000. If we can do another 3 or 4, that'd be great. I was hoping, I'd like to, if we get anywhere even over 50,000 for the year, it'd be great. I can't really say, like last year was nuts because of the Brian Koberger and all those cases in a row that were really big and drove a lot of traffic over here and a lot of super chats, a lot of PayPals and everything. And right now we're sort of back to like pre any of that stuff level, so we'll see. But even if I can do 4,000 a month, that would be 48,000, but we've already got to start, so we're going to be in the 50s no matter what, likely. I mean, it just kind of depends on you guys. I'm going to still be doing the shows. Tomorrow entry for Jeff. All right, we'll get him in there. All right. I got one in there for you, Jeff. Now, if tomorrow you send in another 5, you'll have 2 chances tomorrow. Isn't that amazing?
Entry for Jeff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for being here tonight. I thought those were interesting cases. Jules, she's one of the mods, but she's never here because she lives in the UK. But she always sends me links all the time, and a few of those were from that. They're pretty good. She always finds these crazy cases. I mean, it's just like every day she'll send me like, well, not every day, but there's times where she'll send 5 or 6 of them for me to look at and go, oh, that looks pretty cool. And then I go try to find all I can find on them and put it together. And then I find a lot on my own. Most of the time it's on my own. I just go to like find some old cold cases somewhere, and I try to mix in newer ones too, so I hope you guys like that. But yeah, thanks everybody, appreciate you being here, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so thank you again, and as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Thanks mods for all you do, and I am waiting to get information on the Addison County doe, so I'm supposed to hear something today, but I didn't hear anything. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Goodbye, Bridget.
For quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one
Don't
person.
say goodbye, just say goodnight.
That is okay, good night. Jesus.
Crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector.
I'm gonna get you, gonna spit you.
If you try and play me like an old projector, crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor. And I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his vector. With all respect, y'all, just remember.
Hey, Billy Juliana, what's going on?
I have no agenda.
I'm a pretender.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal the true offender.
And by the way, everybody, if you could all leave,
so let's get right back to work.
try to leave a comment after the show. You know, like you guys watch the whole show and then okay, bye. Just leave something at the end after the show's over, and then you can join with Billy Giuliana's greatest comments in the history of the planet after the show. I mean, they're just like, I always feel good. But anyways, thank you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow, and be safe out there.
Good night, everybody. Gee.
Perfect, Mary Lou.
Thanks, Gray.
Jesus, what a ham.